welcome to today's full moon in Scorpio bonfire ceremony. So in today's ceremony, we're going to be talking about, all the deep things that we need to let go, because this Scorpio moon is really bringing out our deepest, darkest shadows. Now these shadows, I feel like have to do with deep wounds from the past, perhaps, kind of buried fears that we've perhaps made ourselves believe that they're not there anymore, but they're starting to creep up on us again. And I also feel like this has to do with a little bit of self-worth issues. And the good thing about this full moon in Scorpio, okay, is that Scorpio energy is very deep into their feelings. So we're going to be getting honest with our emotions, what we've been holding on to and harboring any resentment towards, perhaps any trust issues coming to the surface. And I also feel like this has to do with opening our hearts again to vulnerability, because a lot of the collective has been closed off to love because of the past. The past unfortunately affects our present a lot. So it's not about neglecting or running away from the past, but it's about confronting it head on, like we do any fears. And we need to remember that this is not going to feel comfortable, but great things are accomplished outside of our comfort zone. So we need to keep that in mind, that we are stronger than we think, so we can overcome these insecurities, these blockages that are standing in the way of our true happiness. Because today's full moon is all about truly letting go. And I know how tiring that can be to hear that over and over again over the past moon cycles. We've been hearing this theme over and over again repetitively for I would like to say the last year and a half. And this had a lot to do with the north and south nodes, where they were placed and stationed at. But now that we're moving into different nodes as well, with this full moon in Scorpio, I feel like it's intensifying the energy and also the healing that needs to take place before you can move on to this new portal. Now, so this is the bonfire ceremony that I always like to have here. It's my tabletop here with my beautiful there candle that lit up. And I feel a lot of cutting of cords and really burning away of the past. And like I said, we've been hearing this message a lot, and I know how impatient we can become, because like myself, I'm like, when is this healing going to be over, right? When is this new beginning coming? Because it's like when you hear things over and over, it kind of feels like it's a false promise, but really it's not, okay? It's a long journey. This journey is not an overnight process. And we've been getting this message repetitively on my daily messages this week, that it's about patience, okay? One day at a time, patience. We got that card specifically on my spiritual guidance deck that I created. And I really do feel like, these little bits that we're needing to handle, like these unfinished business, it's gonna take a little bit of while. And I feel like it's gonna be until the Venus retrograde ends, which I believe it's approaching summer solstice, winter and winter solstice as well, because winter solstice has been a very significant date that has been coming on strongly in all my prediction forecasts. And I feel like that's truly that turning point for the new beginning, especially when it comes to love, but also when it comes to projects, because remember that Venus also rules our money department, our creative projects, our self-worth when it comes to our status and our career. So I feel like all of these major new beginnings are going to happen by winter solstice. But with all these retrogrades approaching after this full moon in Scorpio, it's like one after the other within 48 hours. We have Jupiter retrograde, okay, which Jupiter rules the fortune house, our abundance, our opportunities. That's why opportunities have been slimming, okay, ever since basically March. And so we're really needing to be wise as to what path we're going to take and what opportunities we're going to accept and not delay them, because guess what? Someone might come behind you and take it from you. It's like, you have to think of this, that there's always someone breathing behind you, waiting to take your position. So if you're on the top, you really need to work on, maintaining that independence, that stability, that notoriety. But if you're not there yet, you're in a lucky position because you're hungry for more. So you're really being called to work at it, put in that extra mile of effort, energy, and time, and learn new things along the process, staying teachable. Never think you know it all, and always seeking out mentors and guides that can help you on your journey. And that's what this North Node in Gemini is about for the next year and a half. It's really about being receptive to help, also from above, from your angels, because they're surrounding us always, and they're here right now present. Archangel Michael, Archangel Sandalphon, he's one that deals with wisdom and ancient knowledge. And Archangel Gabriel, okay, Archangel Gabriel is the one that helps us to communicate our spiritual truth, but also in our creative arts and projects. So that's interesting because I really didn't think about this before I came here. So this was, a channel message right now. And I really feel like, just like these pebbles, we really need to work on solidifying our goals, anchoring, which was the theme of this week's A New You soul coaching program, anchoring our goals into reality and setting the stage for our future by doing whatever it is that we're being guided to take, following through on these commitments, knowing how to achieve our goals. So take a look at all those videos that I've been posting as part of your membership, and the podcast that I posted yesterday on my IGTV. So make sure that you follow me on all my social media, because every platform sometimes has different things, but they're also kind of connected. So you can also follow me on Twitter to get your daily updates. And what else? We really need to, follow the flow of the energy of where it's taking us, because I feel like we've been on the limbo a little bit when it comes to our manifestations, what we're trying to create, our dreams. And we've been just here asking the divine, okay, I've been doing my work. When is my reward coming? When am I getting this? Why are you putting it off so long? But this is where you need to be cautious. Do not lose faith, especially 5 minutes before the miracle happens. And this is in every area of your life, whether it's personal, your health, whether it's in the love department, a relationship, friendships, soul tribes, your career, your status, your money department, all of these areas, they're still in the works. And there's a lot happening behind the scenes, energetically basically, that we can't visually see yet. But we're feeling these changes, and that's why we've been channeling all these light workers in the community who are still showing up. We've been channeling these deep transformations, aka that's what Pluto retrograde is about, which just happened this week. This week after the North Node and South Node shift, and this Pluto retrograde is about these deep transformations, and whatever changes that we're being guided to make, it's gonna be for good. This is like the final remnants of transformation that you need to take to be able to move that next level up on your journey as a light worker, as a spiritual being, so that you can walk into this new earth ready and capable of sustaining this new high vibration and frequency, because not everybody can handle it. If you're functioning at a low vibration, there's no way that you can withstand a high vibrational environment. Okay, this is why people, are repelled towards one another or are magnetized towards one another. This is what happens in soul tribes. This is how they're created. Like-minded people attract the same like-minded people. It's like a battery, right? Positive attracts positive. But you can say, opposites attract each other, but that's not true. They repel each other because they're on the opposite end of the spectrum. Just like this selenite wand that I have, if you notice, this wand, this part of the wand actually is a little bit kind of like worn out. And this one's thicker, this one's more sturdier. It's actually like a nice little like diamond shape here. Whereas this one is a little bit, the edges are blurred. And this is symbolism of, this is where the high vibrational people are heading towards, this 5D solid reality where they can manifest anything they want. Because it's like, if you watch superhero movies, for example, if you've watched the movie, the show Supergirl, right? Or should I say the one about Clarkson, which was Superman before he was a superhero. And there's this place where he recharges, where it's all crystals. And all these crystals are charged with this light code frequency, with superpowers. And then this part here is like, it's even dirty a little bit. You see, it's a little brown on the edges, a little rusty. This is where the 3D world is gonna stay, in the old. But do you want to move into the new? So I've been channeling a lot of this in my art Instagram, which is Christy Ramirez _art, and my main Instagram is Christy Ramirez _. So all the links will be down below, or my social media. But I really feel like this is a really critical point for all of us to make these final decisions, any sacrifices when it comes to letting go of the past. But let me tell you something, that it's not going to feel like a sacrifice when what you know is ahead is so much better, that you're going to be like, oh, that was nothing, letting go. Why settle for this crumb when there's this beautiful paradise world waiting for me in the future? But here is the test. You're not going to see this until you finally let go. Okay, so that's the test of the divine. It's not all easy, okay? And unless you're very spiritually aligned and have a close relationship with the divine, of course it's going to feel easy. Like, you'll have no problem letting go of the past. You're going to spread your wings and fly. And you're going to keep dreaming until your dreams come true. Because you know that it's there. It wasn't placed in your heart for nothing. Your only duty here is to do whatever it takes to fulfill that mission. And keep working at it steady and strong, because that's the journey of life. You see, that's what our life is about. It's not about reaching these destinations as much as we want it. You know, what happens after you reach the destination? You know, it's like, kind of like when you see those chick flick movies. You see these couples, the whole movie is based around the getting together, right? Becoming boyfriend and girlfriend, or getting married. And that's what the whole movie's about. But nobody ever sees what happens after the movie. Like in the movie The Notebook, what happens after they chose each other and they got married? Nobody sees that. And obviously it's not perfect, right? There's always ups and downs in a relationship. Just like in your journey, there's always ups and downs. And there's many people that are going to cross your paths as well. This is where, you know, we have infinite possibilities that Jupiter has been giving us for the past 1.5 years. And I see like all these butterflies. Which butterfly is the one for me? Which one do I resonate with the most? Which one do I want to keep with me forever in my sacred space, in my home? And when we decide which butterfly it is that we want to take home, basically, which pet you want to have for your life, which one do you want to share your life with, symbolism of a life partner, then obviously all the other choices and opportunities are going to close. Because why? We don't need to explore anymore when you know what you want. So this is also about, you really need to know what you want out of life. You can't be flippy floppy, you can't be, you know, undecisive, you can't be changing goals in your life, because the universe is going to get confused, and the universe does not respond to to, what is that word, like flicky, to like flimsy, right, goals and commitments. They need to be solid. So I want to do an energy reading for what we can expect for this full moon in Scorpio, which is basically between now and the weekend, because the shadow energy is going to move into the weekend as we approach May 11th, which I believe is on Monday, when we're going to be approaching Saturn retrograde. And then Venus retrograde follows after that, like 48 hours later, May 13th. So there's a lot of retrogrades happening next week. We already have Pluto retrograde. So we are currently in this deep transformation phase. Now with the full moon in Scorpio, it's only highlighting that energy and intensifying it. So you may be feeling more sensitive throughout this weekend. You may be feeling ascension symptoms, which came out in my astrology video for the week. So you want to take a look at that on my High Vibes Only Club. A lot of information, very specific day by day, came through. So see that video, and I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. So I had to here, I'm going to just try to see if I can make space here on this little tabletop. And I don't know about you, but I really have been feeling the intense energies because I've been sleeping a lot. And, you know, I've been making, you know, like these goals that I want to wake up early at 5 a.m. every day. And obviously it depends on what time you go to sleep, right? Getting at least 6 to 8 hours. But my body, ever since I spiritually awoke, cannot wake up before 8 hours. It's like crazy. That's like how babies sleep, because I saw my little brother yesterday, and he's only 11, and I asked him how many hours he sleeps, and he sleeps 11 hours. And this little boy is like a little angel, right? And he is very, you know, spiritually surrounded by angels all the time, and it's incredible to me. I really do feel like we're the ones who are connected to like your spiritual gifts that have to do with visions. You're really going to be sleeping more because you're going to be getting visions in your dreams. And I have been having very vivid dreams, and I really do feel like the dream that I had yesterday was kind of weird. Like, it's all about, you know, now needing to kind of like decode these dreams because they come encrypted, right? And I really saw like it was about a masculine in my dream, so it very much had to do with the spiritual love dynamic, which I want to tap into today. And like what I got from this dream was that, you know, the collective masculines, divine masculines, are very much a little bit obviously in hermit mode, but running away a little bit from love because they're healing. Okay, so there's a lot of deep healing, especially for the masculines, because the feminine collective, divine feminine collective, is very much wanting and ready for a new beginning. She's healed from her past heartbreak, whereas the masculine, I feel like they've come to terms with the past, but there's just something still standing in the way that I can't quite yet figure it out, but they see her. Okay, and that's the message that I want to begin this theme with. And I do want to delve deeper. I brought a whole bunch of oracle decks today that I was guided to, and I was very much, you know, ever since the beginning of the week when I was doing my planning, I really felt like in my planner I even drew a mermaid for the full moon in Scorpio. I'm really feeling a lot of mermaid energy, which is connected to Atlantis and the Lemurian civilizations and this ancient wisdom. And it's also, you know, very watery, so it is very emotional. Scorpio is a water sign. Its rules is very deep, introspective sign, and every Scorpio that I've come across in my lifetime, they are very deep souls, but they can also be very vindicative. So like they also, you know, have a hard time letting go of past hurts, and it's like they take it personal. So I feel like this is a collective message that we are not to take our past personal, because it never was personal. Everybody's on their own journey, and whether or not they were on your path of light, it's not really your business, right? They came into your life for a reason, to teach you something, and if they left, be glad to say goodbye, because now there's someone better along, and you're only moving towards higher timelines that are in line with where your journey is supposed to be leading you towards. So it's about really letting go of anything that you've taken personally, because everyone is on their own journey of self-mastery. Okay, so that's a strong message today. So I also want to show you this book again, Heal from the Inside Out. Now this is my book, and I know that, you know, I have my photo here, and I've had some people tell me that, you know, why I have my photograph here, this is a chakra book, you know, this kind of looks like it's my biography, right? But let me tell you a little background about this photo and this photo shoot that I had, because I feel like it's related. And okay, so it was last year, exactly this time, it was like May 2019, and I did a photo shoot with a special private personal photographer that I had, you know, back in the day. And we would always do different kind of photo shoots that we felt inspired to give a message through them. So that was like our way of being artistic, and he was very artistic soul as well. And he was actually born in Hawaii, so he had a lot of that, you know, innate wisdom. And I felt like the way that we met was really fate driven. Okay, it was like he found me, he recognized my soul from like the other side of a window, and it was just really synchronistic the way that we met. And ever since there, that's where our friendship came about, right? And so we started doing photo shoots, and we would always spend a lot of time together and go to these beautiful natural nature landscapes to take photos there. And this specific photo shoot we did at our studio, And the theme that I came in with that photo shoot idea, because I'm always the one that was coming up with these themes, and I didn't know I was channeling information back then. That was kind of like the turning point of when I started this business, which was in August, so like 3 months later. But I was channeling collective energies and I didn't know. And so the theme that I came into that photo shoot was that of a mermaid theme. And I had 3 outfits, and the first outfit that I did, which I actually kind of lost the photographs for that because I actually wanted to use that one, but it was actually like a mermaid outfit. It was like a light blue, very, very nice. And this one was white. This was a white gown that I was wearing because I was thinking like, kind of like the white goddess coming out of the ocean. And we were gonna do some really nice photo shoot backgrounds because it was a green screen photo shoot. And the third outfit was that of like a pirate, right? A pirate mermaid. So I was channeling like a lot of the artwork that I'll show you today from these oracle cards. And those 2 mermaid oracle cards were the first ones that I ever began to read with on my own, which was 3 years ago. So mermaid was like the first thing that caught my attention. So I really do feel like ancestral lineage wise, I am very deeply connected with this mermaid energy. And so, and I do have a lot of water in my chart. My moon and my rising are water signs, and the only earth sign that keeps me grounded is my main sun sign. So I feel like that's significant, but it's also earth signs connected to earth, which is connected to the ocean. And so that was my intention with this photograph. But obviously, you know, and you know, that chain that I'm wearing, which is blue and green, is very mermaid colory. It's like earth colors, right? It's like the ocean and earth together. So it definitely resonated with my energy, earth and water. I'm very grounded yet very emotional and psychically connected to the spiritual realms. And you know, I do have a Pisces moon, which is very spiritually and psychically connected, right? So that's where I get, you know, my inspiration from with that book. But I am working on an edition 2, so stay on the lookout because I'm going to be adding more information for each chakra, and I go over all the 14 chakras. There is more than 7, okay, and I go really deep into the higher chakras as well. And this is really going to help you to access higher consciousness through the alignment of all your chakra energy system. So now let us get to the reading, because I really am curious about what, you know, we can expect for these coming weeks, you know, with the Venus retrograde, all the retrogrades in general. But let us first connect to the weekend. So I'm going to be using my energy oracle cards, which is very connected to the moon. I really like this deck. And I will be ending this ceremony with the Sambo healing. So stay watching because that will be at the very end, the last 15 minutes. And an intention ritual that I want you to do on your own free time. Alright, so what can we expect when it comes to love for this weekend? Okay, so we have the blossoming abundance in rebirth. So I feel like it's still on its way, but not quite there yet, because something else needs to come in alignment. There's something out of alignment. Yeah, more healing. You see, we get Jesus energy, healer of the ages. But this is a new age as well. So I feel like this also has to do, you know, Jesus Christ was born in the Piscean age. We're in this new age, which is blossoming towards this Aquarian age. And I feel like as we blossom more into this new age, this love dynamic is also going to blossom accordingly. These twin flames, because they're part of this mission. There's 2 flames here. So the twin flame collective is definitely waking up to their spiritual truth, their solar plexus confidence and self-worth energy. But there's a lot of thinking, and there's a butterfly here. It's blossoming energy. And there's a lot of seeing of each other's souls. And there's a lot of doing of research, a lot of ancient wisdom, connection with the past, with how to move forward, intuitive insights, how to climb this ascension ladder together as a power couple on this mission. But there is a lot of brick walls here that is obstacles, right? also needing to build these new foundations, because whatever has been burnt from the past is no more, right? And now it's like we're needing to come up with a new blueprint and strategy for how we're going to go about the future in a spiritual manner. The world card. This is a worldly mission. How can we be of service to the world as well? And I saw this card as I was shuffling. But this is also the definite worldly revolutionary moment that we're all experiencing collectively. And I feel like it's good because, like I said, we are in this 3D, 5D split reality right now. And this is happening. Okay, so this is a crucial point again. I can't emphasize. Are you willing to take the temple path? Or are you going to stay behind? That's the energy. And what's the secret to this? Is unconditional love. Opening your heart to love. So I feel like we're getting a lot of intuitive insights with Archangel Metatron. He is the ruler of the third eye chakra. So perhaps many of you might be feeling some pressure or tension on your forehead, between your eyebrows, or any massive headaches, which could be crown chakra awakenings and downloads. We're needing to embody more strength, taming the beast from within, having more self-control. Again, I see solar plexus energy. And this is the coming together of the masculine and the feminine. The masculines really need to surrender to the feminine energy, because the feminine energy is what's going to heal their soul. Help them to tame this, beast within that wants to fire at people. Okay, and charge in a negative way that will actually repel the crowd, right? That will cause fear. When a lion comes at you forcefully, it causes you to be afraid for your life, right? So the woman here, which is the tamer, the angel of strength, she's wearing a white gown, she's very pure and angelic. She helps him to gracefully communicate in a way that's more respected by the collective and received. All right? So a challenge that I feel is this victim mentality that has been coming up for a while in taking these opportunities. For some reason, there is this belief that you're stuck. Obviously, we're all in isolation, but this is not a reason. We're just in this rejuvenation phase right now. We're in this healing moment. It's not a block, okay? It's a diversion to the light. Let us get some mermaid oracle cards. Let us see what the mermaids and dolphins have to say to us today. What advice wants to be given to us as to how to best handle, these energies, break free. And this is the dolphin, when I see the dolphin, I think of like all these neurons being activated. They have like this computer within their brain, right? They use 90% of their potential of their brain power. And they're free. They roam the ocean like it's theirs. And this is also about trying new ventures, different ways of communicating, and experiences as a way to grow and learn. So break free from the chains of the past and wait when it comes to, this is about patience, okay? Patience in manifesting this new reality. But you're really being called right now to take your time in making these moves, because yes, they're divinely guided and your intuition is correct. So we got the yes card. Take action accordingly, but bid your time for better results, because this is about divine timing. Not feeling like we need to see the results right now in order for them to be true. You know why? Because we're healing our hearts. Heart chakra, collective healing. And we're a powerful healer, so we need to just keep up the great work. And I see nurturing energy here, like a mother and a child. So this is about childhood wounds. Maybe, something with mothers. Letting yourself receive more love. Opening your hearts again. Allowing others to give you loving care. Receiving without guilt or apologies. Rest, because guess what? We are going to be moving towards this new dawn, which is this new beginning. The worst is now behind you. Positive new experiences are on the horizon. And this is an unexpected treasure of abundance. And I did a photo shoot like this also with like channeling the treasure energy last year. And I really feel like this treasure that we've been looking for, that requires, a map, like a pirate searches for his treasure. A lot of us have a little bit kind of like fallen off the map, perhaps taking wrong routes in our life, but they've only been to teach us where not to go. And now we know the way, because the only way left is the right way. And I feel like this treasure is truly like it happens at the end of the movie, right? It's like the end of the darkening of the soul. And this darkening of the soul has been a very powerful teacher to us, but that's all it was. We don't need to dwell on the pain anymore, okay? And any karmic relationships that you've had, don't let it define you. Your self-worth or what you think you deserve, how you were treated in the past. I feel like, this word has been really coming up a lot, emotional abuse. I feel like a lot of you have been going through a lot of emotional abuse with past partners. And because you've been taking it to heart is why it's really been affecting you. But if you don't take it to heart, realizing that it's really their own issues and insecurities from within being projected onto you, you realize that this emotional abuse cannot take place because you're not receptive to it. You see, in order for emotional abuse to happen, you need to be receptive to it. You need to allow it into your aura, and you need to believe it. But guess what? If you don't believe it, then it's not going to be true. And this is you. Look at this. We got the Soul Cage card. And this is about this rescue and escape from captivity and restriction. This is obviously the collective energy that we're all in, right? And we want a savior. And I see more of the feminine here rescuing the masculine, because the masculine looks very drained. He looks very much done with it all. But he's captivated by this woman's light. And I feel like this is going to be his salvation when it comes to the rejuvenation of his spirit for life. Because this requires transparency. She's very transparent in who she is. She's real, authentic, honest, genuine, and in the present moment. And this is also about partnerships. So this is definitely coming, this weekend. There's going to be a lot of more transparency about how masculines feel. And, they're seeing the light. Because see how they're rising up to the light together? Because the feminine has basically kind of diven deep a little bit to save him. But she's from up there. And there's some truths that are going to come to the surface with this full moon in Scorpio, because Scorpio energy is all about the revelations of these dark secrets. This can be from, past cruelty, manipulations. But I also feel like if we were to get one more card, yeah, we're getting revelations and visions. Like I said, we're going to be experiencing a lot of these dream visions and psychic images, clairvoyance, out-of-body travel in dream state, perhaps during the day as well. But there's also a lot of mirroring energy between the Twin Flame Collective. And I feel really called to make it a lot about that today, because it's been a while since I've basically, talked about that energy. But what's needing to happen, a challenge, is trusting in the divine, letting go, letting the past go, letting the heaviness of the grief and the loss from the old persona that we once were as well. And this is root chakra stability worries as well that we need to let go of. Because the more that you worry about your stability, your financial aspects, and you know, what's your life going to be like, that's kind of like wanting to take control of your life, right? That's like wanting to be in control when you want to know exactly how everything's going to turn out. This is where we're being called to let go. Okay, let go and just let it be. And look at this, we got Lemuria. So definitely connecting to this ancient wisdom through dream state. This is also earthly spirituality, very Taurus season, obviously. Connecting to Mother Nature, the fertility that we're in, of creative projects, of new love, of a new self, deep transformations, community, ocean conservation as well, needing to sacrifice, like what I said, things that don't longer serve us anymore, because these are those worth making, and there are those that will destroy you if you don't make those sacrifices, or if you sacrifice yourself in place of an unhealthy, toxic, codependent relationship. So it's about freeing yourself, okay? I really felt these mermaids talking today. And yes, the divine feminine is definitely yearning for her divine masculine. But he's there in the ocean, kind of like crashed. He's a little bit in a coma. And she's longing for him, basically. And she's wanting to save him from this inner turmoil that he's experiencing. He's definitely experiencing tower moments, being washed away by disillusionments from the past. Very heartbroken. Okay, his chest has been wide cracked open and basically messed with. And she wants to help him, but only he can save himself at the end of the day. He needs to be willing to make that decision. This is the number 40 card. So maybe that number is significant to some of you. But at the end of the day, you can only save yourself. So I feel like that's a strong message as well. It's like not seeking this salvation from an external source, only from you and the divine. The divine will give you that strength that you need to keep pushing forward. You're stronger than you think. And I did some artwork on my wall yesterday. And one of the quotes that I put on my wall was, "You are stronger than you think." And I'm staring at it as I'm talking right now. And it really reminds me every day that I am stronger than I think. We underestimate ourselves as humans, as spiritual beings, because remember that we are spirit beings living in a human world. We're not humans living in a spiritual world. Unless you're asleep, then obviously you wouldn't even be watching this video, right? So the people that I'm talking to are obviously awake. And that's why you need to remember that you're here for a reason. So it's like, wake up to taking action. Okay, don't stay procrastinating on your mission work, because at the end of the day, you know, this light worker mission work is work. Okay, light workers need to work, and that's where we're being called to get to work, because there's a bigger picture here at play, and that's what I'm going to be talking about in my upcoming presentation. So stay on the lookout for that. I'm going to be using here my Tarot de la Nuit because there's some mermaid cards in there, and I really felt called. And look at this, at the bottom of the deck we have the Lover. Such a beautiful card. And I like this deck because it's very artistic and very, very clear. And this man here is very spiritual, but has like a little dark aspect to him as well. You see, that's like the Scorpio dark shadows in there. There are like these deep desires towards, you know, their feminine or their masculine. That's a little bit dark, that needs to be taken a look at, because really it stems from somewhere else. It's like, for example, jealousy, for example, right? When you're jealous of someone who's happy all the time and you can't stand their bubbling nature, how they can be so positive during these horrific, you know, worrisome, fearful times. when you realize, why am I being triggered or bothered by someone's optimism, you really need to take a look at yourself and ask yourself, what is it about them that I wish I had? Basically, what are they doing to be in this high optimistic vibration all the time? I want to be like that. At the end of the day, envy or jealousy is admiration. And I learned this in psychology. When you're, talking to a client that is having these issues towards people or a person, it's usually admiration, okay, in disguise. They don't want to admit that they admire them because of pride, or perhaps they just are lazy to do the work, right? Because being optimism is easy once you know how to do it, but if you're so stuck in this lower vibrational reality of negativism and allowing these negative thoughts to ruminate in your mind all the time, it can seem difficult to kind of make that shift, which is what we're being called to do as a collective. But once you make that shift, everything from there spirals in the same direction. So if you're shifting towards the positive, everything else ahead of that is going to be positive, because positive attracts positive. But if you stay in that same vibration and you don't make the shift, then you're just going to keep attracting more negativity, and you're going to keep spiraling downwards. So it's about, kind of think of that Kundalini rising when it comes to your chakras. Do you want to spiral up or down? Do you want to stay in your comfort zone, or do you want to take a peek and take a risk to the unknown and see what happens from there? See what springs from there. And I feel like that's what, if any of you are in that position of struggling with being optimistic in this reality, in these circumstances, first of all, connect to the divine. Second of all, have your gratitude journal, because gratitude always reminds you of the blessings that you already have. Gratitude is appreciation, and gratitude is the secret to manifestation. Because when you're grateful for your blessings, it attracts more blessings, you see. Because the universe feels that appreciation for what they've given you. And so the universe wants to give you more. And I feel like number 3 would be to really be honest with yourself. Again, the transparency card that came out, right? Really be honest with yourself. Whenever you're, lashing at someone else, or perhaps, for example, there's those people, right, that love to criticize other people, but they never look at themselves. You're being called to look at yourself now. It's like, stop focusing on other people, where they're at, and take a look at yourself. Now, that message is not for everybody, but that's obviously the Scorpio energy. You see, it's like these hidden shadows that we've been hiding. And I feel like that's what's been lowering a lot of people's vibrations. Because if we were all as a collective in high vibration, we would be in a different state right now, okay, worldwide. And let me tell you, as much as this can trigger a little bit, the world is in this experience right now because this is where we've taken ourselves towards. Humanity has attracted it on their own, okay? That's the law of attraction on a global scale, okay? And obviously there is always a reason astrologically as to what's going to happen and what we're going to experience. But there's always options when it comes to astrology as well. It's like when you have these transits, like trine energies, like when two planets are trining or conjuncting or in opposition, there's always this question of how are you going to use this energy? Now, I feel like the collective is in this state right now currently because the majority of the collective, because believe it or not, the lightworker community is not the majority. And that's where it has been a huge fall point collectively, because more people have been asleep, literally like in this photograph, wide asleep, lazy, just focused on sitting on the throne with emptiness, which symbolizes greed, money, materialism, false infatuation, lust. instead of connecting to our high priestess energy, connecting to spirit, to the ancient wisdom of what's, in the spiritual texts, the Bible. The Bible has a lot of knowledge in there. Our own ancient wisdom from within, like that tree of life. Connecting to source, the owl, the all-knowing. And this full moon is really calling us to get real with ourselves and vulnerable. A lot of black feathers were coming up for this dating message this morning. And there is like a scorpion energy, so this is really crazy how all of this kind of like resonated, right? This is kind of like also like, the movie The Black Swan? It's like that energy. She faced her darkest shadows of insecurity, of embracing her sexuality as well. And then she was able to be a more powerful light worker, which was when she returned to her white outfit. Because think about it. In this movie, The Black Swan, this white swan in the beginning was very timid. And she was very shy. And she was very, she had a very blocked throat chakra. Because through your throat chakra is where you express yourself. It can be either through words or your art. Your mission. And she was very holded back by her own fears and insecurities. When she tapped into the opposite spectrum of who she is, because for every light there is a dark. It's the hero's gain most energy, as above so below. Left, right? And so black and white. It's the black and the white that makes the shades of gray. And through these different shades of gray is where we find the truth. And when she was in her black swan energy, she felt like she could conquer the world. She had no fear. And she was, a go-getter. She also used her sexual energy to seduce. But this is where, and obviously this is why the light worker, kind of like metaphorically died in the end when her stomach was bleeding, because she misused her power of sexual energy. Sexual energy is basically creative energy. So this is where we need to be also conscious of where you've misused your, I don't want to say powers, but just more of your energy in the wrong way. So this is about truly, where have your intentions been? Have they been in line with spirit? This is powerful, deep stuff here. Okay, the first card that we got was the Six of Wands in reversed. Now, in this deck, she has red hair. And metaphorically, this has nothing to do if you really have red hair or not. But red hair is a little bit connected to like fiery energy. Obviously, it's the Six of Wands, which is ruled by fire element. But this is also about, I feel like where you've been misusing your powers, right? Let us look what this particular deck has to say about that. You see, this is where have you not been shining your light bright in confidence, promoting yourself, blossoming, because it's in reverse. This is about self-worth, knowing that you deserve the success that is yours. Always allowing yourself to be proud of yourself and holding your head high and shining like a star. So there's a little bit of confidence issues, like just not believing in oneself. And this has been a major blockage in all of the collective energy. And especially for any of you out there who are very much, interpreter based. And then we get the Cinderella energy, which is the Two of Pentacles in this deck. And she has like this timer on her. There's 2 watches here. So it's like we're kind of running out of time. And this is a full moon here, Scorpio. So it's definitely, are you going to take that carriage into this new portal? We're definitely on a time frame. All of these messages that I've been giving have been time sensitive. But this is also about our self-worth and beauty, Taurus season, right? So it's funny how everything really is coming across pretty nicely. And it's also about, obviously, using your time wisely. Time is precious. I've been channeling a lot of that. But also, I heard time management. Time management is going to help us to be more in our power. Independent, self-confident entrepreneurs, because that is a lot of the collective energy, right? There's a lot of this with Venus coming into retrograde, you know, financial self-worth issues. I don't feel like it has to do with our beauty or with our image, but more with our financial department. And obviously the economy is struggling and a little bit at a fall point right now, and it's causing depression, right? So we're needing to learn to juggle with duties, finding balance. And I feel like this has to do a lot with realizing that we're worthy of financial stability. You have your value to give to the world. And always making time to balance out your chakras, having patience, being flexible, having an open mind, and realizing that life is unpredictable in its timing. Divine timing will always come into play when it comes to your dreams coming true. If you can manage it all, then happily ever after will surely come to you. So this is the test. If you're able to truly learn how to manage all these different departments in your life, if you're truly able to manage the responsibilities and requirements of a busy life in work, then you're going to manifest the fruits of that, because everything else is in balance. But if you're overworking, trying to make things happen, and your health is out of alignment, then that's a blockage, you see. Because the divine doesn't want to basically provide you an incentive towards something that's going to make you unhealthy, if you understand what I'm saying. So it's truly about learning to balance out every area of your life, and that's how you're going to reach the light, through prayer and meditation. Seven of Cups energy is also about, you know, needing to focus on one thing at a time, laser focused. And I've been channeling that. It's really funny. There's another full moon there. And this is about our dreams and our fantasies. Imagination versus reality. Choices to be made and letting go of fear. Sometimes, yes, reality can frighten us. You fear that everything you long for is unreachable. And that's only an illusion dissolving in the nightly wind. It's hard for me to see what choice is the best to be made and what path is the right for me to follow. Is it also hard for you to see clearly what is real and what is not? This is about discerning what has been an illusion all along, Neptune and Pisces, and what is truly real. That's what you're going to be taking with you into this new world. Only what has been truly real with you, what resonates with your authentic self, and what is in alignment with your dreams. Do you have, like I do, too many options and too many dreams? Then come and sit beside me. Maybe together we can avoid the temptation of daydreaming, and we can find a way to force the visions of our imagination into reality. This is also about manifestation and working on praying on the moon for one wish to come true at a time. Definitely about focus. What we can expect, you know, if we're able to finally focus on one. You have the 8 of Cups in reverse and the 10 of Pentacles. So the 10 of Pentacles is obviously, you know, this finally happy home and family, this ultimate abundance, this true love, because I see red cords here. Genius energy, I see like Aquarian energy. And the 8 of Cups in reverse, this is finally leaving it all behind, a new journey. No longer crying over spilled milk, that's what I feel. And moving into this abundance, this 10 of Pentacles, which is the dreams coming true. Having our crown chakra awakening to completion of cycles, abundance, wealth, accomplishment, family, enjoying and sharing the goals of success. That's a beautiful way to end this reading, definitely. And I do want to take out a few other cards here. when it comes to connecting to some spiritual energies, I have this special deck here. First off, I want to get some affirmation cards, okay? Okay, so I actually want to end with a few affirmation cards for the collective. So we got get out of your own way. And I've been feeling this message very strongly. It's a solar plexus energy. I feel like these, you know, our own insecurities in our brain are blocking our happiness. And stay curious. This is Gemini, North Node and Gemini energy. Venus retrograde in Gemini. It's also about staying curious about what this spiritual love can bring to us in a reality. And guess what? We rise by lifting others. This is about truly collaborating with our spiritual other, soul tribes, and staying curious as to how we can make a difference in the world. Seeking out creative ways of uniting and be the energy you want to attract. Okay, and then let us end with a yogi card. This is definitely something I wanted to bring out today. All right. We got pranayama in reverse, and I see a lot of green energy. Pranayama. This is about us as a collective needing to breathe. Inhale 1, 2, and 3 and pause, and exhale for 1, 2, and 3. Repeating 6 times before continuing to read. So let us do this together actually. I feel like let us begin our healing session right now, because we really need to focus on meditation, more spiritual practice. That energy came on yesterday and today. So let us breathe. Let us close our eyes. And let me send you some healing energy so we can kind of relax and get in the mood to really, really delve deep within our souls. Okay, let us continue reading. Just this practice will change the rest of your experience. How we breathe is how we live. Have your breaths been fast, shallow, and rushed? Has your life had similar qualities? When we move through our breath without observance, we move through our lives without observance. Life is meant to be cherished, inhaled, and devoured. Whenever things seem to be moving too quickly for words, come back to your breath. Especially those times when you feel like you can't take an extra 30 seconds off to breathe. This is when you need it the most. Time is your perception. You choose how fast it moves. So that is what we need to focus on today's healing meditation. Is really, acknowledging that there is time to take a step back. There is always time for healing. We don't need to keep putting off our time to rebalance ourselves because we feel that time's running out. We need to get things done. This has been the issue when it comes to humanity and society, and why we're in this place where we've been forced to take a step back collectively, because we haven't mastered this practice. We're always trying to be overachievers, and I feel like this has been a little bit of our downfall when it comes to really manifesting our abundance. Because if you have, you know, achieved a certain goal of having a certain amount of money in your bank account, or having that person that you think you love by your side because they look good to the society, or whatever other case it may be, you got a new car or a new house, but at the end of the day, you haven't really filled in that void that was the one that needed to be filled. It's like you've been missing the bigger picture all along. You've been passing along what truly needed your attention. And that's what we're being called to focus on in this downtime that we have, to look within. Where have you been neglecting your energy, focus, and attention? And perhaps it's the most important thing in your life, and you've been just kind of like putting it to the side. Like, I'll have time for that later, or it's not that important right now, I have other priorities. But really, your priority should be that thing that you've been neglecting. And this could be anything in your life. That's where you really need to go deep within, journal about it, and ask yourself and be honest about your answer. So I really suggest that, you know, when you meditate later today, all you need to do is sit there with yourself, have a journal on your side, and just look at the sky if you can, or just close your eyes and envision a paradise or whatever landscape you want, and just travel to another world. Travel deep within your soul, and kind of like be like a scavenger hunter and really look within. What is there that you have been hiding from yourself because it's too painful to look at, or you probably think you don't have time to look at it? You see, a lot of people put off their healing that way, and I've seen that. You know, I'll do that when I have time. I have much more important things to do, which is only intensifying and exacerbating your stress levels even more. So really take a time to really go within and just be there. And let me end with a few sound bowl healing, because this introspection is for you to do on your own time. Okay, so when you finish watching this video, rewind for this sound bowl healing. It will be silent, and then keep going on your own, okay, in silence. So let me bring it out. So I actually felt called to show you something else. I don't remember which new moon it was. I think it was the new moon in Aquarius that we had sometime this year. And I remember for our intentions ritual, I believe it was 2019. I put a message in the bottle here. And this was our intentions for the new age of Aquarius. I actually want to read it with you guys, because I feel like we're going to be getting messages in a bottle from the divine. This was the new moon in Aquarius intentions. So this was a special project that we did that day. 5 is the number of major transformation towards the higher mission, our higher self, the higher purpose. So I wrote 5 intentions here that were very general for everybody. Number 1 was global expansion. Number 2 was soul tribe gatherings. Number 3 was abundance, prosperity, and stability. Number 4 was balance, health and wellness, and spiritual fitness. This means staying in line with your spiritual practice, making time for your health and wellness, balance. And number 5, trust, surrender, and divine protection. Get out there, calling your power spirit animal and Archangel Michael for protection. So I feel like that can help a lot of you out there, which is why I was meant to read it. So I'm going to put it back into that message in the bottle. And now do our sound bowl healing. So just close your eyes and just listen to the sound. one more time. So I have a little homework assignment for all of you guys today. Take time to listen and see what message the angels have for you today, because there is a message there. I really feel it strongly. So that's what you're going to be focusing on this weekend. Look for that message, because that is the answer that you've been waiting for your prayers. So I'm wishing you all an amazing, beautiful weekend, and full moon in Scorpio. Take it easy and be kind to yourself, okay? So have an amazing and beautiful day. Namaste.